Now how cool we are in the midst of things. And that sum up other people. The last thing is trifle, without care or harm done. That's the funniest last words in a sentence? And that outlast many of you in great strife. Without roach man or real man. Didn't connect the dots all the time. And jot brain, without using thoughts, they instilled in my head. And fathom control over all they can sum up even after the whole shebang? That the bottoms of the barrel guys work like a warp hole. That sucks up everything then they fathom. What's more, it controls our day-to-day life. And makes it for some reason not to sound? Not even deflected force field. From talking, the dominance and daunting is striking, because they play in a factor. Long. Enough to suffice to the truth. The moral act of treason is for the chapter of betrayal. And not mom in the fabric seam. And that's not love in it. And there's no reason to guess that I am the sole proprietor of treason. And the daunting is indictable and indomitable. And make matters easy to sum up. I had 2 bowls and it matches to love. I write asunder a god I've been talking to you all about. The outtaker takes the shape of a lightning god. A deity doesn't have to spell out that no soul has null is the lost souls. They needed to erase memory. And that sounds cool. And I love to know it's fine, we get shit done. The not to care thing is we have no room left for some. And I never did anything to it. As Cowrie, the snail. And it's been up to fate to decide. How they fathom the end is the enviable someone getting beat. In no one's mind at fault and muster the stuff not to preach to the future? And weigh precisely how that outcome affect the masses. And made a retirement fund. And make this book. Called, Polly, I'm the Fabled One. And makes matters worst in concealing that. At best. And make it sun up not that that was anything. The moral decay is not there. It's fasten on your waist side. And not govern the masses of anything to offer, you? And make how things work part of knowing how it works. And make it too hard to handle. And makes matters worst. And know it's okay in the end. And the known masses have got us back. With praise that they can tell I'm Cowrie. The fabled one summons a ghost of the last, and weaken bonds that tie Michael the restraints of heaven cast its beacon light to show all those who don't command the heavens. The moral of gesture is not in heaven sake love, we begin to fathom love. And shape us to who we are today. And make matters pressing on bought time. And mange suffice to the whole not doing anything? And fathom make it work at old age and fathom they haven't thought up enough brains. The way we have is doubt to escape from that worries can carry burdens or weight down on you? That's just like you want it. Everything has a drag. Calling upon despair can weigh you down. That's perfect for that one. And occasion to last a lifetime. Mention of Polly in the future. I might be cool to hang out with? And maybe vast a beacon of hope. If they given enough time? Time has to offer. And make matters at hand pressing. And not time bought can press a button into outer space. And make it about who's to think it over, in the process of retirement? It's age high time that we gather enough individuals, caught in the act of treason. The reason we have doubts is weighing us and, without willpower to shred through them. We cluster in our cowrie shell. Like bats or aliens? No. It's we are less mammal or lizards. That means you are more mammal, with a snout as the new hominid. The way they portray in an episode of The Simpsons. And make it they evolve, differently on islands and stuff. The moral we might get to the part where is good. My dad's betrayal, over my mom. Sad to pressing concern. He didn't you make it all about him and stuff. That is to weigh the masses has more on you. The habit of my finger writing is pounding on the word masses. is a cowrie suspicion. To end all wars in my home country. Battling Thailand in a war. They think? Already birthright has to offer. And makes things worse and worse. That's the author decision and make it suffice. And think of slopes and AWOL. Stuff that mocks you and the daunting is him, Fernando? That's to sum up this passage he agrees, to set Michael in the hospital. The more we think about the more we preach? The masses outweigh the sum and in a decision they can come up with? The come up is today's language of tolerance and by that means we have ourselves in acts of conduct. Back to that we might never get to read the next chapter? I on the other hand lead no love, is nowhere on, is thought process? To be the bearer of the weight of it to drag you down like an anchor? Off some ship. The Austronesian ship? And make it taunting that he gets his way. To think endlessly with nothing comes onto the table and ripe fruit. The fig mind is not what he sums up on his own. Never do they rot knowing, Polly at that? And make it knowing Polly, he named me. And the fig mind knows, to lay ground rules no? And fathom a reality all on his own. Of you worser than him. And make it tight not to, bundle everything up? It's no one know how to make it on, their own. And the masses love that. Back to the topic at hand is lively enough to takes things out on his own. Is Fernando and that's no one you guessed, it knows himself, at all. Compared to them. Who, don't. You're a writer? That displays him to not be condemned he thinks? He was out of it? So, was I but, we promise to do what you're told. Anything at all fathom, suffice love not leading, the direction it's headed towards? And what's more this game is fathom, only by Polly. And it's fun to act as the victor. And no victory at all suffice to, Michael. And make it about him. At that I'm not getting the truth on a silver lining and make it the thread of fate. And it's no show Jacqueline will on Facebook? At Adam's mom that she knows, daunting, and I have plenty. From absorbing strong ox from him? As a cowrie to a daunt. That's daunting to, say the least. And make it known it's a book that sums up my past mistakes. And make it I learn, greatly in my absence and trial and error. And make it all about you didn't get up to daunt. As a cowrie I mentioned, Jason's powers climbing. Or power to climb. And that's process IVE talk. And make a cowrie say that. The moral code of treason is not what it's up to. Who you are in the grand scheme matters? As I'm rolling on ecstasy?
And I think they patter their asses to listen to the storyteller, I say, and make it all about I fell asleep 'cause I sit on the bed. While everyone else, it's the floor. The sinking ladder is there in the thousand law and millions of the Corey ladder, and make it known to some I've been placed here on this planet, and make it again. In time for the apocalypse and we know that the Corey line has stopped, that means no railroad to patch the timestamp of your arrival, and make it talks for it to muster the strength and at that. The one I want is to no one knows him better. Is the Don trade is yours, Fernando. No one has him to offer his condolences which are people, to the longest question in the book. To matter to some is a testament, I write till the cows come home. Since we're all bulls. Bullseye. And make it taunting I'm without a soul for guidance. And learn to walk and fly, like a spirit, at night. Make it about to wonder if the thoughts of someone can suffice. And make it they care enough to reach the climatic ending, as the storyteller. On account of a chord. Placed there as a last-minute resort. That means time has much to muster upon, pressing on the hurdles. that has in store for the temp not tense on the cord of yourself, and muster enough hatred to lie that he has a bone to pick, and not care. I mean literally, and suffice to his own doubt. The matter suffice to the masses that drawn upon you coming up with treason. And it's been past time travel and make things sum up. And make the matters care about their decision to muster up enough hope one day. And that's to sun up this passage to closed doors. And reopen them at a later time. For more to treason and acts of fairness, and make it a reality. And make them value you as an individual. And makes matters worse first hand. And matter to others not the sum of the whole, alienizing and funny to someone. This one is funny to Jason, as my Michael keeps him around. And make matters worse for him as these two. While Corey rode on, and Corey and the Daunt. And that's not CD. For see these nuts? How have we been taught in school? To know when the shout of a force comes a cool guy. And it's been written in assets to make this a reality, and make it the day we work as two leaders. What they have someday. You know, there's a watch on my uncle's kitchen. Has him and the Prime Minister. They will start to copy the new hominid as a Corey of consent. And end this tyranny lead forth by Craig the Arson. There's Michael, there's the Masons leader, Donald Trump and such, I neglect to say. And my pals Poppers and James, my love Paulina and her sister Kathy, and that's the moral. I don't give out real names of someone without consent. Consent goes a long ways for Corey.